Okay, so in your opinion, or what do you know? We can talk about MAGA Republicans, or if you were saying like more the economic, the pre-Trump people were more interested in other things for the focus.
Country club Republicans.
Country club Republicans. Okay, what does that mean? What is that for you?
They are Republicans, very linked with the big business.
Okay, so for you, you think the Republicans think of big business in the past. What do you think of, John?
I think Republican is for individual rights.
Individual rights, okay.
Not for social.
Not for social, okay, the collective, more about
For justice.
okay, criminal justice, to be clear. Okay, sure.
Or maybe for gun controls.
Gun control, meaning
Weapon.
weapons?
Yeah.
Weapons, yes, or weapons, no?
Weapons, yes.
Okay, so when you say control, be careful, because gun control in how we use it in America means that you don't want weapons. So weapons, yes, it's true. But if I say gun, are you for gun control, then you're not Republican. If you're against gun control, you might be Republican.
Okay.
Okay, but we'll get into that later, just so you know, that's a buzzword that I'm going to.
Gun owners.
Gun owners, okay, and what defines a Democrat? What do you think? When you think Democrat, what do you think?
The opposite.
Okay, the opposite, what do you think?
Because of not individuals' right, but public.
Okay.
For progressive right and the social equality.
Okay, social equality, okay.
And yeah, or for human rights.
Human rights, okay.
And,
You guys are good, super informed, okay. Do you want to add anything?
Is the name of Luna, because also in Italian politica.
Okay, so you see them as similar?
No.
You see them different? Okay, wait, I know this is complicated, but okay, finish your thought.
But a full time we have the link and the destra sinistra. But there are concepts of French revolution.
The French right? French Revolution, yeah, well, our constitution was based on.
Not.
Okay, so but you can see there's sort of like seeds from the past that were in there. Okay, so there were some similarities.
The Democrats are more for the big government, which do a lot of things.
Okay, yeah, okay, so Democrats are interested in big government taking care, because there's also a fundamental idea that people are going to do the right thing with the Democrats, right? The Republicans have the opposite fundamental thing, that maybe the big government isn't going to make the right decisions. It's better for us to have smaller, have a decentralized government, right? Again, everybody wants to do the right thing, but there's a little bit different of the idea of human nature, right? There's a little bit different idea on that. So who's right? I don't know. But we're going to see where we are today. Do you want to add anything to Democrat versus Republican?
I think that Republican for economic.
What specifically? What do you think is the Republicans are interested in economically?
Because the free initiative for individual
Capabilities or
free
So you can say free market and you're already fine. Free markets, free markets.
Another difference, free market.
Yeah, definitely. Republicans love a free market.
Was, I
I
think,
see. Huh?
Repubblican showed their true animal
Your soul.
soul of America.
Okay, okay. Because you see that sort of individualism, the sort of like free market, it's gonna work itself out, et cetera.
I think another difference between Democrats and Republicans maybe is the different approach to the taxes.
The taxes, absolutely. Yeah, what do you,
Republicans and
what do you call it, like a graduated style? Yeah, so that's true. I think Republicans like the idea of as, little tax as possible. Can we say that? Because the idea is they want to pay less taxes because they feel like that will drive the economy. Okay, just to give the benefit out. Democrats say, well, maybe the more money you have, the more you should be contributing to paying for services that we all use, right? Again, everybody has their heart in the right place, but different ideas about it, yeah.
I read a couple of sentences of Ronald Reagan,
Okay,
the greatest Republican president and ever, maybe.
the most popular for sure, and famous for Reaganomics, right?
That stressed the core, the hardcore of the Republican mentality.
Yeah,
There is a famous sentence of
okay,
no, it said, the worst line in English language.
okay.
I am a government employee and I am here to help you. What do you under you cannot, no? What do you want there, my freedom?
Okay,
There
so,
are no money, there is no money for freedom.
okay.
You want for something better, my freedom. This is
Okay.
Reagan, this is
So
Reagan.
that's Reagan. Did you know that Reagan ran as a Democrat?
Huh?
Reagan was a Democrat.
Yeah.
Yes, he was, he changed.
He changed. He was.
You don't have to believe me, we either.
He was Democrat in
Yeah.
1960.
Yeah, he was a Democrat, he actually had already won, didn't he? Or he was a governor, he was a governor and he changed from, and this is like a shocking thing, Ronald Reagan, the actor, because he was an actor then, he became a Republican.
He was a deputy Democrat, and his father was Democrat.
Right, and
Then changed it in the 60s, never 60s, he changed it.
he changed his mind. All right, so who's not in? Pino's not in. You might just open it, are you ready to play? So again,
Can I say
Sure.
another difference maybe is the approach to the abortion.
yeah, absolutely.
I love abortion.
Yeah, abortion. Yeah, we're gonna talk more about that. Let's leave it there for a moment, because it's gonna be in here. I don't wanna get put ideas in your head before you, but yeah, you're right, absolutely. It's a fundamental difference. So how did I do this particular, now there are a million quizzes online to see, are you a Democrat or are you a Republican? I'm gonna show you, the one I made today, and I'll tell you my method. So it's not a complete one, it's just a small bit. What I did, sure,
The first time I'm really sure.
okay.
What can I do now?
You need to take your phone.
Yeah.
Your smartphone. You need to go to the QR code at the top.
No, this is okay.
You're in.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna play a game. Now normally, because it's fun to teach through this, so this is a learning thing for us. Okay, you're gonna follow directions. As you know, I'm gonna start the game over here. You will see the question up here and you will answer on your phone. But you have to see this because you won't see the writing on your phone, you'll see red or blue. And most of the questions, if not all of them, are true false. And I'll always put them in the same area. So like true, I think, is always on the left, false is on the right. You can all be, you can just say true to all of them and you win everything, or you can put the truth, okay? You can say, yes, this is here. So I worded it, I believe this. So if you want, you can just believe it. And then, I tell you if you're a Republican or a Democrat. What I want you to do though is just keep track. Like, are you really what you think you are?
Yeah.
Okay,
I have a question.
yes.
Why There only two parties in the USA.
Because there can be more, but when they try to do a third party, there's an independent party, you can run, it's possible to run as an independent. But what we found was when, was it George Bush? Who was right before President Clinton? Oh, okay, no, I'm just thinking, which, Shelley, you remember this? With the third party, remember, it's the guy who was.
Libertarians.
Yeah, no, but remember there was I'll look it up because I think it was Bush first. It's not Ross Perot. He also ran, it's correct. This is a real person for years, but it's not Ross Perot that I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of before. I'm thinking like in 1992.
No, before I remember George Wallace. He was an independent.
I know that for. No, the one, he was famous because you can Google it while we're playing, maybe if you're, unless you're playing. Which
election, 90?
I'm trying to remember, she's the other half of my brain, so she'll remember. But do you remember, Denise, when there was a third candidate, and the problem was he didn't have enough votes. He took away votes from the Democratic. No, after Carter. He was when I was 18, I was at the time.
Against Reagan, there was Robinson,
You are like an encyclopedia. You are Wikipedia, that's you.
Yeah, he was an independent.
Tell me what your name is, why aren't you up here?
Where are you? There is no more. I was a before.
Okay, get back in, turn on your phone.
No,
Okay, he's the guy who was for customer advocacy and stuff, and he ran, and he Anderson, no. It'll come back. Anderson Farrell. Anyway, he ended up, what happened when you have a third party, okay? It doesn't matter, that third party is gonna have like certain things, like either economically, it's gonna be a little bit towards the right or the left or whatever. When you have a third party, you're gonna take away from someone. So after this particular election, where that person was really popular, but so was the Democratic person, but the Democrat didn't win because those extra votes went to the independent. Thank you. Ralph Nader. He was a Green Party. Who's he running against? In 2000. 2000, okay. And who else was running?
Okay.
So basically after the Ralph Nader election, 2016 and 2000. But it was too late. It was like 2000, I think. And but he took away votes from, so then people are like, no, we can't just, it has to be one, we have to just concentrate our idea into these two. So the most we've had is 3.
John Anderson, he was running against Carter, he was Democrat, and then he became independent.
Okay.
Anderson.
So I think that's why, is because there's never enough support for a third card. It's not like Italy where you have to set a coalition, it's just you have one who wins that thing.
Problem is the electoral system. In that kind of electoral system, it's difficult to have 3 parties.
It's true.
It's not to have many parties, but succeed only 2 parties.
Right.
No.
You're gonna be helpful when I do the next lessons, because I'm gonna have you teach them. You're so good.
But I am disconnected.
Yeah, connect yourself again.
And Michael Bloomberg was going to run as independent.
That's why he didn't do it, because the people said don't, because you take away from the Republican Party in that case. So I think that's what the concern is. But yeah, it's probably true that the way our system is set up, it doesn't work well to have a third party, because it just takes away from someone. Okay. All right. Are we ready to go? Okay, I'm gonna read everything to you. And again, remember, this is just for fun, not a real competition. And all the answers are true. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is just the title. Are you Democrat or Republican? 3, 2, 1, it's gonna start. So I believe in a strong military. You write true or false? Okay, blue is true, red is false.
No.
So push blue. Okay, 5 people responded. When everybody responds, this is question 1. I believe in a strong military. If you put true or false, true is going to be, okay? Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so 3 people said yes, 2 people said no. So if you said true to this, what do you think? Is it Democrat or Republican? What do you think? You think so? Okay, interesting. So poor. Okay, and then what I did is instead of just writing, I actually took quotes from, I didn't put my opinion. The Republican Party believes that the key to maintaining a safe and successful nation is maintaining a strong traditional military. And this is from a website called republicanviews.org, okay? So all of these, I didn't put any opinion. I just copied something so that it would be neutral, okay? I don't want to pick sides. Second question is, I'm going to move this out of the way. Healthcare is a right, not a privilege. So I'm talking about universal healthcare here. Okay. Okay, so 3 people said it's your right, not a privilege. Now, this is something that differs between the right and the left in the 2 countries, isn't it? Because if you say that it's a right,
I don't understand.
do you understand what the question is?
This direction, because,
Because
Where do these points come from?
you have to go faster.
Velocity has.
Yeah, it doesn't, yeah, so when you see it again, just put true right without even thinking about it and then think about the question, because it goes by, it only has space for so many people and you gotta go fast. Now, these are veterans here, seasoned players, they're like. Okay, so you're a Democrat, so it says, this is part of the Democratic platform, you know that don't give up though, you're gonna get in, don't give up, don't put your phone down, keep it open.
what can I do?
What does it say?
What else can?
Yeah, okay. Stay here, and then when it comes up, just go fast. You gotta do the fast like 3 times in a row, because these people are faster than you. So you need to beat them, because there's a leaderboard. Okay, but you're in.
The countdown, what is it? Countdown.
Oh, because they're waiting for everybody to answer, so you want to be the first one to answer. Okay, so Democrats will keep up the fight until all Americans can access secure, affordable, high-quality health insurance. Because as Democrats, we fundamentally believe healthcare is a right for all, not a privilege for the few. This is what it says on the website for the Democrats, okay? The Republicans don't like the idea of universal health care. In fact, they're quite against it. Even though that it doesn't exist now, Obama did not create universal health care. The only thing Obama did, just so you know, you'll hear it because Republicans call it Obamacare, but it's actually called the America Cares Act, right?
My mother calls it socialized medicine.
Socialized medicine, so he's a Republican. So it's an option. So basically what Obama did is he created competition for the insurance companies, but it became very popular and the idea was to drive some of the prices down. Yes.
Another sentence of Reagan.
Oh gosh, we're gonna go on the Reagan rabbit hole today. Okay.
Difficult government manage my health card, my freedom is finished.
Because this is also the idea. In fact, the imagery for universal health care that the Republicans put in everybody's mind is one of fear of Russia in the 1980s, waiting in line to get bread. Because there is an idea that if healthcare is offered to everyone, nobody gets good healthcare.
This is another situation after Russian.
And then what they say is, but then Americans say, what about Canada? It's working there. Oh, it wouldn't be like Canada. It's not like Canada. It's way worse, right? It'd be like Europe where everybody's dying. That's what they would say. They wouldn't call it that. They would say it's like those socialist countries where everybody dies. And people believe it. Okay, the following are important to me. You can put more than one answer. In fact, you can put all of them. Protecting the family, restoring the American dream, defending my way of life, and defending the nation. You can do all of them if you want. Okay. Yes, you can put all of them if you want.
This is for democratico or?
You decide. I'll tell you in a moment. Okay, so who is it? Is it Democrat? Yeah, it's a little bit that. This is all Republican. Why do you say that?
Because protecting the family in a traditional
Right. The traditional family.
Because
Because remember, the past was better. Make America great again, like it was in the past.
Defending my way of life, I'm fighting to be the first to win over the nation. Because I am very smart.
Right.
Maybe, but there was no time.
Defend, yeah, of course, it's not a perfect system.
Non capisco come, I don't understand how it's works.
You have to choose.
For you,
As it's for you important, the first, the second, the third, the fourth, or all. You can.
choose all of them. That's the only question that's like that. It was bad, Caroline, sorry.
And find out that there are.
Right.
Items.
Right.
And then.
No, this is from the Republican, from GOP.com. Do you know what the GOP is?
GOP.
What is the GOP?
A great one.
The Grand Old Party. So when we say the GOP, it's an acronym that describes the Republicans because they are the oldest party. So when you say in the newspaper, for example, they'll say the GOP decided this. The GOP decided their candidate, and they're talking about the Republicans. Another buzzword, okay? You're gonna have what?
The name is GOP, no? Grand Old Party, but the Republican Party, the Democrats are older. Because Henry Jackson founded the Democratic Party before.
Okay.
He founded the
Okay, so then we have to figure out why are they called, okay, so that's your job for next week.
The war is the Democratic Party.
When was Andrew Jackson? Was he 1840? 1840, he was,
No, Andrew Jackson, 14. 14.
because
At the beginning of the.
this came out today and everybody called him a jackass, which is why, did you know that? Why is the Democratic Party is symbolized by a donkey? I know, you don't know this one. I knew you were gonna be here, so I'm like, I better know, because he's gonna ask me. I knew you were gonna say, so we looked it up today. So you notice that for Republicans, there's an elephant, right? That's the symbol of the Republican Party. The Democratic Party, they're donkeys, because Andrew Jackson, who was the big idol, like the inspiration for Trump, by the way. He loved Andrew Jackson because he was crazy. Andrew Jackson was a Democrat, and his nickname by the press was Jackass.
Jackass would be so.
And a jackass is another name for a donkey. And so they decided, the political cartoonists picked this up and it became the symbol.
It was the founder of the Democratic Party. And the elephant.
And the elephant was, that had to do with, it was a cartoonist, again, it was not Nast who did that one. So there was a cartoonist called, his last name was Nast, N-A-S-T. And he was a cartoonist for Harper's, which is still an important magazine, but less heard of. You probably heard of the New Yorker, kind of in that same. And when he would describe different parties, he would assign them an animal. He signed them an elephant, it stuck. So we don't really know, but that's when it started.
I didn't watch the symbol of Democratic.
I'll show you, it's a donkey. Okay, yeah, so this one, you're right, Pino, this one with all the answers was a little bit of a bad trick on my part, I'm sorry. But I did it because the Republicans, the last time that they got together, is the Republican National Committee, right? They are the ones who get together. They choose their candidate. There's a Democratic one, of course, also. The Democratic National Committee is called the DNC. The Republican National Committee is called the RNC. These two groups have a big meeting once a year, and then before the presidential convention, they have a convention they do two things. One is they officially present their candidate. The second thing they do is they vote on a platform. They say, okay, for this campaign, these are the fundamental principles that we are interested in, okay? So that's how Democrats and Republicans can change their focus over, because it depends on what's happening in the world, right? Fundamentally, they have differences, but they might be more interested in one thing than another. So everything is defined by the platform, we say. When Donald Trump was a candidate, it was such a chaotic year, nobody could agree on anything. Because he kept changing his mind and they could, so what they put on they decided not to have a platform. They said instead, you know what, if Donald Trump says it's okay, that's our platform. Isn't that insane? It's crazy to me, but that's what happened. Was that was a period of time when the Republicans actually decided not to have a platform, but to put 100% trust in Donald Trump. Okay, that was a crazy. Now, since then, that's changed.
And was it the first time?
Yeah, you think so? At least in my knowledge, it was such a great. They couldn't. There was such division in their own party. They couldn't make anything work because there were people like, what is this guy doing here? And other people were like, we love him. It doesn't matter what he does. They couldn't agree. So they decided not to agree. And they said, whatever, Donald. And Donald said, why don't we just say whatever I say goes? And everybody said, okay, that's easier. Wow, crazy.
Trump has been in the 2016. Trump has been a bombshell in the Democratic.
Right, in the Republican Party, it's true. So basically, these four things. Now, since then, of course, the Republican Party has come together. They've done several resolutions. They do, twice a year. They come out with here's what's important to us in this season. So if you go to GOP.com, okay, you'll get all of this. So everything I've taken is just basically from 2023, okay? And then also they've got their sort of vision statement, like companies do. They've got a vision and this is what they do. So their main things are to defend the family, defend the nation, defend their freedom. So those are basically the four main tenets, okay? And I put them in one slide. Next question, true or false? Border areas must be protected from foreign invaders. True or false?
About Democrat.
What you think?
Well, again, I put them as if you're saying, yes, I agree, or no, I don't agree. It doesn't matter. I'm going to make everything true. It's just kind of a silly game. Okay, so who is this, do you think? Is this Democrats or Republicans? Huh? For you both?
Both, because foreign invaders.
Well, I chose that word on purpose. Do Democrats use the word invaders to talk about someone coming over the border? No, they don't. Republicans tend to talk about people coming into the country using words that are very specifically negative. Okay? And what it says here is, this is from winter 2023. So this would have been this year. GOP.com, one of their resolutions had this quote: the Republican National Committee urges Congress to declare a national emergency and take all measures to protect all United States borders, beginning with the southern border, because there's an influx of immigrants coming from Venezuela, and they're coming through Mexico, but usually coming from now in Central America. Take all measures to, so it's very common now. What's happening is there are lots of immigrants coming in, or you could call them refugees, immigration is a situation like it is here. Okay, so these are common, and the language that we use in English often tells people what your ideas about them. Okay, and at this moment in time, the Republican Party is not interested in having open borders or looking for solutions. They see it as, in fact, what was Donald Trump's thing was build the wall, right? Because for him, he wanted a wall to keep everyone out, to protect the Americans. Okay, so this is a very Republican idea right now. Okay, now, of course, if they're invaders, like if they were actually invading to come and take over the country, Democrats would agree. But
in the time of the Bushes.
Was it? Well, right.
The Bush family was not against immigration.
Well, right, because the platforms change over time, right? All right. In fact, George Bush, when he was campaigning, spoke Spanish. Oops, I wanted it smaller. Oh, true or false? Sorry, sorry, too bad. I was trying to make this thing smaller. Religious organizations with tax exempt status should be able to make political contributions. Yes or no? Do you agree? Religious organizations who are tax exempt should be able to make a contribution to the political party that they favor. And make this small. Okay, of course I made it true, but 3 people were, sorry, that was my fault. Do you think it's fair? Do you think that religious organizations should be able to support a political party? You think no?
But they,
Not really like.
Okay, because you think that the separation of church and state. Okay, so you think that's not. Okay, anybody else have an opinion, John?
Inspiration.
Separation of church and state, which should be a part, okay? So who do you think thinks this? Is this a Democratic idea or a Republican idea? Republican. Okay, are you guys getting faster? Okay, so there's we have a constitution, and then the changes to the constitution over time are done in the form of amendments. And there is an amendment to the Constitution called the Johnson Amendment. It was from the 1950s that made it illegal for religious organizations, which do have tax exempt status, to make religious contributions. Now, the Republicans think this is outrageous, mostly because a lot of their money comes from evangelical Christians, and because this is against their right to free speech, because you should be able to support the party if you want, the party of your choice with your money, and that's your free speech. So the Republicans would like to repeal this amendment for that reason. Yes, TikTok should be banned. True or false? Ban means eliminated, no more TikTok, the social media platform TikTok. Do you know what TikTok is, everybody? It's like all the teenagers are using TikTok. They don't use Facebook, that's old for them. They don't use email, they use Instagram or TikTok. That's the thing.
yeah, but for other reasons, I think.
Right.
And the intern from what?
Yeah.
Republican.
So who wants it banned? Who? But who is that, a Republican thing or because of?
It's origin.
Right, so why, okay, so it's a Republican thing. Why do Republicans want TikTok banned? Because, and so what are they afraid of?
A Chinese,
Chinese owner, but why?
In my experience, I saw in Facebook and then TikTok, no?
Yeah,
In Facebook, there are many people who say America is dead. Not many, who say America is nice, nice life, or what, etc., etc. In TikTok, all people speak in America is terrible.
really? So you think that's why?
It's my experience.
Okay,
There are people living in America, it's all wrong, or doesn't function. In Facebook, I have not in Facebook. A few say one thing, others say other things.
but you notice on TikTok a negative. Well, it could be true. Yeah.
Maybe.
So the GOP passed a resolution this year, in 2023, to ban TikTok on all federal devices. So that's the only ban there is. So government employees cannot use it, right? Because they're worried that, because the Chinese government does have the right to ask for data from these companies, and the companies have to provide it. And so they are worried about data sharing and potential espionage. Okay, and of course, they would prefer that people not use it as well. But I think that's more difficult. But they did ban it. Aren't all federal employees are banned?
Nobody in the State Department or working government getting TikTok on their personal phone yet.
So it's important to stop Chinese police activity in my country. Let's say your country's America. True or false?
I have some problems with this.
Okay, well, you can just say it then. True or false?
False.
False. Anybody else?
True.
True? Okay. So what is this about? Do you know about this?
Yeah, because there are big problems with the Chinese in Italy too. There are Chinese people who control the Chinese government, the Chinese immigrants. It happens. It happens. There is a secret police. There is a secret police.
You are totally informed. This was not at all on my radar at all. I had no idea. This is not something that I knew about. Okay. So again, I took everything from their site, no opinions here. It says in summer 2023, the Republican Party enacted a resolution to shut down police activity in the United States aimed at US residents who disagree with the Chinese government. So people, so there was intimidation, trying to get people to go back to China to be punished, etc. So apparently this is exactly what you're talking about, is happening in America as well. So this is a Republican priority. Marriage is only valid between a man and a woman. True or false? I had to throw this in there, right? Okay. Okay, well, you know, this doesn't mean you agree with it or don't. It's, you know, I put it as true. Okay, I put it as true because I am being, what am I being, a Democrat or Republican here?
For example,
It's not difficult. It's very clear between the two parties. They have a very big difference.
maybe in the platform of the party.
I'm talking about the platform. I'm only talking about the platform. I'm not talking about, you can, of course, you know, a platform is a platform. It's, you know, individual people may be, I agree with some and not the others, right?
But people, Republican say only the three men and a woman, but the donor say differently. Says different.
This is true. And it's also true that we talked about abortion before. The Republican Party on their platform states that they're pro-life, meaning against abortion. But if you asked, a lot of Republicans would say, you know what, this is where my party messed up. Okay, so, and there are also Democrats who strongly believe in pro-choice, which would be that women should choose for themselves, and yet would be Republican for other things. So obviously people are complex. Nobody is a straight platform. And if they are, then they're not thinking for themselves. Correct? So I think there are a lot of Republicans who don't agree with this statement. But on the platform, they actually state that this is their value. They look at this as traditional. In fact, what they say is traditional marriage and family. This is copied from their platform. Based on marriage between one man and one woman is the foundation for a free society. And has for millennia, so remember, America used to be great, we're talking about the past, has been entrusted with rearing children and instilling cultural values. So
What is rearing?
to rear is to grow children, to raise them. We normally say to raise children, but actually correct, you know, in the correct use of English, we would say you raise animals, but you rear children. But we say raise children. In my case, I raise a child because she's more, she's a teenager. She acts like an animal. No, but we do say raise more often. But in this case, they use the proper rearing children. Okay, so this is actually part of the new party platform. That that the Republican Party believes in traditional family values. And when they say that, they mean family has one definition. Okay, and that marriage has one definition. And so they are going to do everything they can to dismantle rights for anybody who goes against that particular idea of the traditional family. Allowing people to have guns increases safety. True or false? Allowing people to have guns increases safety. Okay, looks like some of you don't agree, but is this Republican or Democrat?
This Republican.
Yeah, so I think that sometimes, since we live in Europe and we don't have these problems with gun violence, we don't have school shootings and things, it seems a little bit crazy that even, it doesn't matter if you're right or left, it seems crazy to have everybody with guns. I think I can probably speak for most of the people I know on both sides of or on the whole political spectrum. But in America, the right to bear arms, that's what they call it, that is from it's the 13th Amendment. It's in, the second amendment, okay, the right to bear arms. Thank you. And so this becomes a fundamental right. It's very difficult to change the Constitution. Maybe it made sense at that time. At this time, it seems a little bit different, especially with all the problems we have, but Republicans do support guns to keep themselves safe. Okay?
Sorry, can I interrupt?
Yeah.
Maybe the system
Is it being a problem?
decided that I am a Republican, and now it's saying, oh, it's wrong.
Well, yeah, it's wrong because I made every answer is true. I chose that you're Republican today.
Yeah, but
Every answer is true.
it's the Republican. The answer, the question.
No, but we know.
Yeah.
We know only after.
Yeah.
After
Yes.
the answer, the question isn't that this is a statement.
Right, it's not. Exactly.
I have to choose for myself, and then
Yeah. If you don't agree, you're wrong.
find the confirmation.
Right.
That
Yeah.
I'm really a Republican or Democrat.
Exactly. No, you're right. If you answer false to these, you're always going to be wrong today in this game, because I had to choose one or the other.
Okay.
So I did it on purpose, but that's why.
Okay.
Because I wanted you to have to decide, oh, what, you don't believe in this? You're wrong. No, well, if you're a Republican, you would believe that. I told you today's game was a little bit weird. So there's our elephant again. So this is a Republican ideal. The Second Amendment to the US Constitution guarantees the right to bear arms, to have arms, right? 1/3 of US adults say they own a gun. Isn't that crazy? 1/3, that's a lot of people. 72% of gun owners say they have it for personal protection. Okay, now this is Pew Research. This is a great site if you want statistics. They do all these interesting studies about attitudes, about lots of different things. It's not politically one way or the other. They ask a question and this is what the response. So it's a very interesting site if you want some statistics like this. Yeah.
Guarantees the right to keep and bear arms. Keep and bear.
Is the right? Yeah, we usually just you have it memorized?
Yeah, yes.
You're so good. I knew you did.
Yeah.
You love this stuff. All workers have a right to maternity/family leave, meaning you would call it maternità or paternità or, okay. Okay, that's interesting. So everybody put yes this time. Did everybody agree? Does everybody think this is important? Even the Republicans? Johnny, do you think it's important?
Yes. I think, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this is something that is different between Europeans and Americans, okay? So the interesting thing to note here, this is not a Republican idea. This is Democrats. Now, what's interesting is that in America, there's no guarantee that you will receive pay when you're sick. Or when you have, okay, so here I just said maternity, paternity, like family leave, but it actually, they advocate for paid sick days, even if you're not feeling well. So Democrats advocate for paid sick days and family/medical leave, which is currently not guaranteed. Some companies, if you have a high position, of course, if you have a salary, you're gonna be paid for not being there. If you're working at a factory or working at an hourly basis, you probably are not being paid for sick days. So a lot of people go to work when they're very sick. And also, even if you have paid sick days, many jobs will give you 2 sick days per month. But if you use them, that could be used against you. And usually sick days are not paid. So you have the right to take 2 per month, but if you do, people will look at you badly because you're leaving work for everyone else and you probably won't be paid.
Because you speak very.
I'm sorry.
And
So,
this,
yeah, this concept. So it's a little bit like you have permessi, for example, right? For each month you work, okay, you accumulate 2 possible days to be home if you are ill. You know, you have a headache, you have a flu, or you break an arm, something like that, okay? These days are normally not paid. You have a right to take them, but not necessarily be paid for them, okay? Now, this means since there's normally not pay, and when I say this, I have to be careful because some people get paid, some people do not. But normally the people who do not get paid are the lower level jobs. Okay, upper level jobs get paid, lower level no.
I spoke with American workers, but they are very well unionized.
Union workers are high level though, okay, because.
A friend of mine who works in the construction. They have a big union. They have a very nice agreement about.
If you are represented by a union, you probably have these in your contract.
The same with the union auto worker have a big agreement. No?
They have a wonderful agreement. If you are covered by that, but again, that's higher level. Usually those are the older people. Younger people often are not covered. It's true what you're saying.
And they're on strike now.
And they're on strike now.
Yeah.
But so when I say this, I have to be careful because there's no universal idea and not everyone is covered by a union because unions are a choice. And even if you have a choice to join or not, many people decide not to for other reasons. And so, you know, if you're covered by a union, okay, it's true. You get probably a better treatment than someone who's not covered, but many people are not covered by these things, okay?
Like this in the country.
Yeah,
But
so.
in the auto industry, it happens in the past that unions were so strong that they got so wonderful agreements and peace in entitlements that the American car industry collapses.
Well, right, that's why Republicans don't like unions. Housing and home ownership should be affordable and accessible to everyone. Everyone should have the possibility to buy a home. It should be affordable and accessible. Do you agree? This is probably another difference, because I think here there are protections for people. You can find home, you've got ACTA, you've got other things here.
I'm not so sure.
You're not so sure.
No, because I can remember with the regulation, with the Eastern example, there was a home for all.
Okay, sure.
And there was a Republican approach.
Okay. It was a Republican approach.
In England, the same. No?
So it says the Democrats believe the government should take aggressive steps to increase the supply of housing, especially affordable housing, and address longstanding economic and racial inequities in our housing markets. When they talk about longstanding inequities, we're talking about systemic racism in the banking system, in the real estate system, etc. LGBTQ+ people deserve full access to health care.
What is deserve?
Meritano, hanno diritto. Okay, is this a Democratic idea or a Republican? You can imagine from the approach to the family that this is not Republican.
Nobody has full access to healthcare.
Right, but on the platform, but they're not saying that they have it. Nobody has it. But do they deserve it in the future? Remember that the platform is what people are fighting for. If you already have it, you don't put it on your platform. You might try to defend it, but it's true. Nobody has. So it says, we condemn the Trump administration's discriminatory actions against the LGBTQ+ community, including regulations that discriminate against patients based on their sexual orientation or gender. Okay, so now there's a lot going on about trans rights, etc. And so this is definitely a Democratic idea to say in writing, we believe that everybody should have equal access to our healthcare. And it's a very divisive idea. I believe abortion is a woman's choice. We talked about this before. Now, why did this become an issue? Is it because, what's interesting, if you look at the history of when abortion became an issue, it became an issue in the 1970s when there was a danger that the church would lose tax exempt status. There was a movement to get the religious organizations to be able to pay taxes. So the religious organizations had to find something to rally around, and they came up with the abortion thing. So it was really constructed in order to defend the tax-free status of the church. And it's become, and it's continued to grow and grow, and with the Roe versus Wade, that was the Supreme Court decision that made abortion legal, and it was just defeated this year. So in the first major election after the Supreme Court overturned the case that ensured a federal right to an abortion for 50 years, abortion rights lifted Democrats to victory in Virginia, Minnesota, Michigan, New Mexico. So actually, many people who normally would have voted Republican decided to vote Democrat because of this issue alone. So you're right, people are complicated. You can agree with certain things. And if this becomes your issue, it can flip a state. I'm going to go fast because we're getting to the end. Protecting civil rights is a priority, true or false? Okay. This is a democratic idea. Healing the soul. This is in their platform, saying we need to heal the soul of America means facing up, to the deepest inequities in our society, from structural racism to misogyny to discrimination against people with disabilities, and enacting ambitious measures to fix them. Okay, so this again is a democratic ideal in the platform. Do you support Democrats or Republicans? This is your opinion now. This is actually your opinion. Are you a Republican? Red. Independent? Yellow. Democrats? Blue. It depends. Green, which is more like being an independent. They're pretty, I know, but I had to put 4 choices. Okay, 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats, 1 independent, and 0 it depends. Okay, so so this is the end of it. So this was actually a real poll. You could have an opinion. It doesn't matter who wins on this one, does it? Because really, it really doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna just get out of here once. I want to show you something else though, quick. Can I just show you? We'll do this one together. This is from the New York Times, but this is a really cool graphic, and I want you to look at just get more of an idea what it means. So let us predict whether you're a Democrat or Republican. So we're going to go down here. First question: are you Black, Hispanic, or Asian? If I look at this group, can we say no?
No.
We're going to say no. Watch this graphic. Okay, we've moved. Okay, we've moved Republican. Is religion important in your life? Yes or no? Okay, yes. How many raise hands for yes? Raise hands for no. 2 no, 3 yes. Wait, 3 no. Wait. Raise your hand if you want to put yes here.
Yes. Religion is important in my life.
Okay, 2 people say yes. Raise your hand if you want to say no. Okay, the no's win. Are you straight? Means you're not gay. Are we straight or gay? Are we, as a group, we have to decide if we are gay or if we are not gay.
Gay.
Gay means homosexual.
Ah, okay.
As a group, are we going to be gay today or straight? We're going to say straight. Okay. Are we majority straight? It doesn't matter. We can decide. Do you want to be gay or straight today? We're just doing this together. Should we say we're straight? Okay, let's go straight. Isn't that funny? The idea that we're straight or crooked. Okay, but straight, we'll say we're straight.
Yes.
Okay, we've moved Democrat. Oh no, we moved a little bit to the right. Did you attend college? College is university. Did we go to the university?
Yes.
Should we say yes?
Yes.
All right, we went to the university. Are we Protestant?
No.
Are you all Catholic? Denise, we're the only Protestants. Catholic? Are we Catholic today? So we are not Protestant today. Look at, isn't this cool? It's graphic. It puts you like the percentage of, are you Catholic?
Yes.
Yes. Are you female? There's 3 men and 2 females, so we're male today. We're not female.
No.
Well, I'm going by the majority. I'm not counting Denise and I because, okay, so I'm counting you today. I'm sorry, but the men win.
Normally.
People like you are a little bit democratic. Isn't that interesting? So look at this. So there's this great graphic where it has these different, you can look at Hispanic or Asian, Black, old, older than 31. These are all the different things, and it actually explains what they mean. So if you do a Google for this, I'll just give you this. You can actually play with it and see, it's really complicated. Yeah, just predict, are you a Democrat or Republican? New York Times, and this is a free one. You don't have to pay for it, okay? So like I said, there are many different quizzes, but I love this one because the graphic is so interesting to me because it gives you all these things I never thought about. Yeah, it's like a mind map, isn't it? So interesting. So what do you think? What are your reactions to today? Besides the fact that, it was frustrating when you didn't agree and you had to, if you put false, it was wrong. But did you learn something today about Democrats and Republicans? Did something surprise you?
I learned that Italy is better because we have 200 parties.
So for you, you like having that diversity. Really? That's an interesting, thank you for that. Okay, what about you? What do you think?
No, I'm just kidding.
But it's true though, right? It's interesting. It's really interesting. What do you think?
The electoral system, every electoral system has pros and cons, no?
Okay.
You have a wide possibility of choices.
Okay.
But with our system, it is a strength system because nobody knows how functions the Italian system.
Right.
In America, it is easier, no?
Okay.
It's tried, it's not direct, and there is a little bit more possibility to responsibilize the elected people.
And that's probably what you're saying too, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. What do you think?
The
In
answer
America.
would be so complicated because the answer would be more different.
Yeah.
Not an only answer about this problem. In my opinion, it's not so divided democratic and republican.
Okay.
The problem on the question, so the conversation would be so long and about several problems.
Do you think it's interesting or do you think it's devastating?
So
Oh, you liked it, okay.
so electric, so stimulant, so yes, are very interesting,
Thank you. You enjoyed it.
nice, so stimulated person.
It's fun to think about these things, right? Thank you. What's your reaction? How do you feel now? Do you still feel like you're 100% Democrat or did you go over to the Republican side?
No. And I could imagine, but it was very interesting because you gave us more details or something.
Yeah, there's some cultural differences, aren't there? Some things are really cultural. They're different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's fun to talk to you guys about it.
I couldn't understand really good what you say because you are.
Because I talk too much. When I talk too fast, do like him. Slow me down.
Because
Yes,
I get excited. Remind me though, please. You know me now. You can sing.
yes.
Then I slow down. I did, didn't I?
It was very, very.
Remind me. So when we speak again, remind me, stop me like he did. You did the right thing. Caroline, whoa, slow down because I start to talk and then I go like a train.
Wonderful, and as usual, it's very
It'll be recorded too. I think you can also go back if there's something, and you can ask me, like, what was this about? Feel free to ask me. How do you feel?
How I
Yeah, but what do you think? Did you change your mind? Did something surprise you?
didn't understand what
My,
say.
your reaction to the lesson, was it different for you? Did something surprise you?
It's, no. I think that it was positive.
It was positive for you. Good. Okay, so next week we continue. So this series of lessons are going to be about politics because we're getting ready for the next presidential election. So we have to decide things. So I'm here again next week.
Yes.
Okay, so I will be here next week. Then after that, we meet online until November 29th. Then I'm here again. And so please come when we're together. It's fun to be in the same room if we can, but when we can't, then come online and we'll continue the conversation. So yes, always on Wednesday. So we're going to look at different aspects of the political system this time. Okay. And remind me to speak slowly. Oh, I'm a disaster. Even she says that, and she's an American. It's true. I talk too fast.
We are used with
You're used to it.
a British teacher, and she
She goes slowly. Okay, I'll be better next time.
You are American.
Yeah, super American. Yes. Thank you for coming. I know you have to go. Bye-bye.
Thank you.